So you're looking to move to Africa and you want to get into real estate? Well, here's the number one reason why I recommend developing tiny homes instead of developing traditional individual houses. So let's go ahead and get into the intro. Hey, Jason here. If you've been watching the channel, you've been seeing me now as I'm resettling down in Lusaka, Zambia. And I am now on my fourth country, third continent. And one of the things I've started doing is opening up and sharing with you tips and tricks that not only help me live this nomadic lifestyle, but also sharing with you the things that I'm seeing on the ground in Africa in case you're considering or thinking about relocating here permanently, especially if you're thinking about business. And so let's go ahead and get into today's topic is why, if you're planning on getting into real estate in Africa, I actually recommend developing tiny homes. And so what I'm going to actually do is read over you with the numbers. I have bought land here. I'm going to be currently developing, starting next year, to building out some tiny homes. And I think it is a wonderful investment, not only for the continent of Africa, depending on which country you're in, but also it's a great way to produce cash flow. And if you're looking to produce some cash flow, if you're going to come to Africa, get ahead of the curve. Don't develop what's already being developed. And so let's get into the actual meat and potatoes of this one. So I'm going to use numbers that are actually here on the ground, and I'm going to actually give you the numbers of what I paid for the piece of land that I have, and I'm going to give it to you in kwacha and US dollars. So here in Ibex Meanwood, where I actually rent at, there's a sign that I've been seeing since I moved over here of a piece of land, a plot, 27 meters by 20 meters. This is less than an acre of land, and it's going for 850,000 kwacha. That plot of land for 850,000 kwacha in US dollars, that is 32,000 US dollars. Now, on that size, which is probably about the size of the plot that I'm renting from, it fits about 4 houses easily, and maybe 2-bedroom flats is what I'm going at. So with four 2-bedroom flats can fit on that piece of plot. And so let's say I'm gonna estimate the cost to build about 200,000 kwacha to build from the ground up, which is about 7,000 US dollars. So the total bill for a 27 meter by 20 meter plot, you're looking at maybe about 800,000 kwacha, saying everything goes right, which is about 30,450 US dollars. Now, I'm a math person. That doesn't sound bad right off the top. So we're talking about you're being able to have 4 pieces of rental income for about 62 to 64,000 US dollars, which is excellent if you're coming from the United States or from places like the UK, where real estate and property is very, very overinflated. Now, to rent out those flats, let's say each one can get you about 8,000 kwacha a month, or 304 US dollars. So that can get you a rental income coming in each month of about 32,000 kwacha, or 1,217 US dollars a month. Now, I'm telling you right now, those are great numbers if you're living in Zambia. If you're bringing that in a month just from rental income, that is great. However, I like to go off the air policy. I want to see how can I do even better. And so remember right there. So now, before we get into the better part, I forgot about this part. How long is it going to take you to get into the black? That is the thing about real estate a lot of people do not talk about. Yes, you can go buy $1 million property. You can buy a $3 million property. But how long is it going to take you to get into the black? Like if you're in the United States, look at all those celebrities who buy these mega mansions, 15 million, 20 million, 30 million, and then they end up selling them at a reduced cost. They're never in the black. You got to also account for they're paying property taxes on these properties, unless they're doing the right tax write-offs. So if you're not getting in the black fast, what is the point of really doing it? So total cost for the plot of land and to build, you're looking at about 1 million. Total cost for a 27 meter by 20 meter plus to build, you're looking at about 1,650,000 kwacha, or 62,763 US dollars. Like I say, that is a really good price. However, with that rental income coming in, and this is saying everything's perfect, nobody's moving, there's no craziness with the economy, it's going to take you 51 months to be in the black, meaning to break even. 51 months, that's over 2 years. I don't know about you, but if we all go back to 20, what was it? What year was that craziness? 2020, 2020 was it? When the pandemic hit? Like, who would have thought the whole world would have came to a closure and people just lost their jobs overnight? So to take into account for those things, I like to use Grant Cardone's 10X type mentality. And with him, it's about the more doors you have renting from you, the more people that can drop off and it's not hurting you. And so now let's look at what you could do with a tiny home community. And this is what I purchased, which is a 40 meter by 30 meter plot. I paid 45,000 kwacha for it, or 1,711 US dollars, which is still a little bit under an acre. So it's not an acre, it's not hectares, it's not farming plots. This is just for residential. And for that 40 meter by 30 meter, I've already done the architect design and everything. I can easily get 25 flats on there that are 2-bedroom, 2-story flats. They're going to be about 4.5 meters to 5 meters by 7 meters. And I can get 25 flats on there. The cost to build each flat, so let me show you the cost to build each flat. I put it at 50,000 kwacha, or 1,901 US dollars. However, I know on the ground that you can build from ground up a one level 4.5 meter by 5 meter flat for about 8,000 to 9,000 kwacha, which is about 300 to 400 US dollars. So that is the actual price. So I'm actually overestimating it here, so I'm not overselling how good it can be. Now the total bill, because it's 25 flats, is going to be 1,250,000 kwacha, or 47,547 US dollars. Now remember, we're building 25 flats here. Now you can rent each flat at about 3,500 kwacha. Now, like remember I tell you the one bedroom, it's not even a one bedroom, I'm sorry, just a studio 1-story flat, which is called a bed sitter here. That is their version of a tiny home. You can rent, they're going out anywhere from 1.8 to up to 3,000 kwacha a month. So we're not even looking at a big difference here. And remember, you're getting the extra 2 bedrooms and it's 2 stories. So you're giving people actually more space here. And so that 3,000, renting each flat at 3,500, that is 133 US dollars, which is very affordable for the economy here. And so that will actually bring you in a monthly income if all 25 flats are rented out, everything's going perfect, of 87,500 kwacha, or 3,328 US dollars a month. Any of my people in Zambia that's watching, let them know in the comments. Is that not a good income or not coming into Zambia? And that is a wonderful thing. But this is where it gets even better doing tiny homes. The total cost for the 40 meter by 30 meter plot, plus the building cost, we're looking at 1,295,000 kwacha, or 49,259 US dollars. We're coming in almost 13,000 US dollars less than building for, individual, the contemporary homes that everybody is used to right now. And so if you actually divide that 1,295,000 by the potential rental income of 87,500, and this is the beautiful thing about it, to get into black, it will take you 14.8 months, a year, about a little bit over a year and about 3 months. Like, how great is that, knowing that you can get all of your costs back in a year and 3 months, and now you're looking at profit. Whereas the other one was going to take well over 24, 48, no, 12, 24, 40, 36, 48, over 4 years. Like, that's a big difference. And the beautiful thing about it is, I know a lot of times we've been taught, oh, if I can have this property as renting for such and such amount of money, that's going to be great coming in. However, we need to look at the ability to multiply. And that's what Grant Cardone's 10X rule is actually about multiplying your income. By being able to develop 25 flats, you're multiplying that, and it's cutting down how long it's going to take for you to get into the black. And this is the beautiful thing about tiny homes. Yes, they're overinflated in the US. I'm going to be real with you. Like, some of these tiny homes that I see in the US, I'm like, you might as well go buy a regular house. However, the rest of the world is doing the exact same thing as the US, which is downsizing. the economy has changed for everyone. Like, it's not easy anymore for a man to just be out working all day, taking care of a family of 4, 5, and 6 people. Like, it's even hard for people to be able to take care of 2 to 3 people now, outside of just themselves and their wife. So the more kids people are having, it is getting tougher for them. But this is the thing about tiny homes. Tiny homes are not to accommodate the large families. They're accommodating the people that are in the universities, the people that are just entering the working pool, the people who are single and just need a place to stay. And like, I can tell you this, across majority, not only Africa, but majority parts of the world, there are a lot of single people that are in the working class, that are into the working pool, that are not actually having kids. They're not even looking to have kids yet because they're not even financially at that place. They're wanting to actually be able to have their own place, but they're needing a roommate to cover the cost of rent. And so I've been seeing this. I saw it in Colombia. I saw it in Panama. I saw it in the UK. I've seen it in the US. Like, because that is the issue, and you're getting less and less people having large families now. Like, think about it. A large family used to be 7, 8, 9, 10 people, 10 kids. Now a large family is about 3 kids, 4 kids. You have a very large family. That is a lot of people that you have to take care of, clothe, and feed. And so we have to start looking at, if you wanted to get into the real estate development side, especially if you come to Africa, look at the people that are not being catered to. And cost of real estate continually go up every year. It's not an American thing. It's not a UK thing. That is the real estate system. It's always going to go up and get more and more expensive. And so looking into tiny homes, it is a great way to enter to the real estate development space, especially here in Zambia. Because the other thing about Africa as a whole, the continent that people are not talking about, there's a lot of people here. This is a very young population. It's funny for it to be the oldest continent, but it still has some of the youngest people here. There are so many people here that are entering the working class or work pool, each and every day. Like, the universities are always full. Like, these are all people who are going to be looking for places to stay, and just looking to overspend on land around the big cities is not where it's at. People are being pushed out. The same way in the US, more people went from the cities and went out into the suburbs. It's the same thing that is going on in Africa today. And if we're coming from the United States, or if you're coming from the UK, because you've experienced that economic growth at an earlier stage, you can be taking advantage of that here in Africa now. The things you do now, it may not pay off next year, but 10, 20 years down the road, those are going to be the properties that people are fighting for. People are going to be trying to get into those places. And the other beautiful thing that I love about Africa, especially Zambia, if you have a good piece of real estate and someone is now ready to move on to the next level of their rental journey or their purchasing journey in real estate, they're going to recommend that piece of property to someone else, especially if they know you're a good landlord and you take care of the property and you're not doing them wrong. So you're going to always have someone who will be able to fill that place for you right away. And so I just wanted to share that with you, because just seeing the things or hearing me talk about, oh, this is what I'm planning on doing, this is what I'm doing. A lot of times, you may be thinking like, oh, I'm looking at what you're looking at back where you're at, or from someone who was in Zambia a long time ago. But I'm telling you right now, here on the ground, especially in Lusaka, the capital city, tiny homes can be the future. And it can be a very, very wealth building future here, because there's a lot of people here. There's not enough places to stay. And people are overpaying for places that are very, very small. I'm talking about, once I start building these 2-story, 2-bedroom tiny homes, it's going to make these bed sitters look like a closet. And we're talking about just a fraction of a little bit more space than what they're renting for. And so I just wanted to share that with you. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you're actually someone who is developing tiny homes, leave any information you have down below. Like, sharing is caring, but it's all about it's all about collaboration and what we're doing now. With 2024 and going on, I'm not competing with you as a developer. Like, if there's some things that I see here that I can maybe help you, I don't have no problem sharing it with you. If there's some things that you see maybe I'm doing wrong that can help speed things up for me, by all means, share that information. We all have different forms of knowledge that we can share with each other, and you never know who the next person is with knowledge that might be that missing piece for you to get to the next step. And if you have any questions also about tiny homes, things like that, or the building costs, the development, land, things like that, just leave them down below and I will get back to you in the comments. And most importantly, just remember this: I'm Jason, and success is simple once you know how.